Welcome back, fight friends, to the Shout Out Fight Podcast. How you doing today? It is Friday, June 30th in Calgary, Alberta. I'm just looking outside. We got a thunderstorm coming for sure. I've had another good one last night. Before we go anywhere, happy Canada Day long weekend. Please make sure it's a long weekend. It's the start of summer. Make sure you go celebrate and have some fun this weekend. Okay, so in this one, Mr. Quinn Wasylak, Wasy, friend of the show, Quinn back for his second go. And I was really excited to talk to Quinn. A lot of growth since the last time. It's been about a year or so. Lots changed in his life in the fight world and a job. So I was really excited to talk to him and have him back on the podcast. First, if you like this fun little podcast of mine, do me a quick favor. Just hit the like button real fast. If you want to go one step further because you like it that much, if you want to just write a little ditty and you can share it with a friend, a family member, or a foe. And as always, who knows, make sure you share it with a foe because a foe can become a friend and even family. So make sure you share. And, hey, listen, if you're looking to be a real one, this Canada Day long weekend, real easy. Make sure you subscribe to the Shout Out Fight Podcast because in the words of my man B. Kong, only the real ones subscribe. So be a real one this Canada Day long weekend and help me out and subscribe, like, share the Shout Out Podcast. I really appreciate that. Quick shout out. I want to give a shout out to Quinn for coming in and doing this today. Dude, he is huge. I always forget, and not in a bad way, man. He's massive. I can't believe that guy fights at 154. He looks like he should fight at 254. I can't say that without laughing, but he's massive. Thanks for coming in and doing this, man. God, I'd be scared. I used to fight at 154 a million years ago. I couldn't imagine standing across from you. You're massive. Shout out to Mother Nature. Like I just said, we got a thunderstorm coming here, and we had a real good doozy last night, so hopefully it keeps going. And I got to have a nice walk out in the woods. So Mother Nature, it's your fun in the summertime. Keep it up. I want to give a shout out to my cub. My cub had his last day of kindergarten, and that's it, man. Moving on in the world. Now you got to go to school for all day, sucker. I want to give a shout out to Edgemont Athletic Club. Dude, I found this gym thanks to my shout out to Scotty, my man. Kept telling me, go to this gym, man. Dude, it's like a country club. They have an outdoor pool. What a great place. Edgemont Athletic Club. Big fan. I can't believe you're right down the road from me. Brad Stanton. He was part of the podcast. It was 2 or 3 podcasts ago. And he's going to be fighting, in, what would that be, maybe like 16 to 17 hours around there. He's going to be fighting Rajat Amnar World Series current champ and Rajat Amnar Stadium champ, Danny Rodriguez, who's also undefeated. But listen, Brad Stanton, friend of the show, he had lots of good things to say. He's got lots of experience. And I'm rooting for you, buddy. I can't wait to jump up and down like an angry chimpanzee at you fighting. Good luck. I want to give a shout-out to Turkey and Pistols, as always. Out in Bragg Creek, make sure you visit their shop, Rob, over at Turkey and Pistols. There's a reason I thank them every single podcast. Them, Turkey and Pistols, him, Rob, Turkey and Pistols, every single podcast. Love that guy. I want to give a shout-out to Charles Bissett. I'm going to be holding a seminar. Well, not me, but Charles Bissett. I'm going to be hosting it. We'll be doing a seminar here at my gym, Arashido Martial Arts, Deerfoot North, Thursday, July 28th. And I just want to give him a shout out for coming and doing that. And I'm going to be doing a podcast with him, hopefully Sunday morning. That'll be July 2nd, I believe. I'll try to squeeze it in. He's in town for a little bit and then coming back later. So I'm hoping, shout out to you, Charles. Thanks for trying to make that happen with me. And like I just said, shout out to my gym, Arashido Martial Arts, Deerfoot North location, home away from home. Quick fighty friends, guys. I want to say so just a shout out to Eric Thankachin. So again, if we've been engaging, we've been talking about fights or anything like that usually through Instagram, but that I want to give you a quick shout out. Thanks for talking fights with me. Eric Thankachin from Silverback Martial Arts. Kieran Kettle as always. Stephanie Quigg. I'm a big fan. Great style, great fight, and I always like talking fights with you. Derek, Jason Davis. We were talking about the old Liam Harrison versus Sexan fight. There's the thunder. And how that might go. Hot topic right now. Dale from Top Notch Muay Thai out in Kelowna. Great dude. Great gym. I'll see you in August. Clay W. Cody Jerome. I'm really hoping we had a little chat. I'm really hoping. Thanks for listening, pal. And I'm really hoping to get down there next week and break down the fight from your point of view. Moving on to the finals versus sorry guys, that was crazy thunder. Versus Daniel Kichigo. And Lewis Coffey from Airju Martial Arts Center. Thanks for getting back a hold of me and giving me your results from your students down at TBA. And shout out to all those guys over at Airju Martial Arts Center, Belgrade Dragons. All right. Upcoming Rise of the Warrior, Junior Edition, July 22nd in Toronto. That's the only really event that I can see at the moment. So again, that's Rise of the Warrior, Junior Edition, July 22nd. And listen, if I didn't mention your event or something like that, I'm only one guy. I got a day job and a night job for that matter. So just drop me a line. Hey man, here's my here's my event, and I promise I'll give you a plug. July 28th, Thursday, Charles Bissett. Like I said, he'll be here, and 4-time world champ, big dude, does not move like a big dude. When you see pictures of him and you watch him move, you don't realize this is like a 200-pound cat. So I'm looking forward to having him come and share his drills, skills, strength, and conditioning. He's in good shape, and pretty cool cat. You don't see too many Muay Thai world champions that are legit cowboys. Actually, you don't see legit cowboys, or half the time legit Muay Thai champs. Anyway, just being silly. Relax. So I'm hoping that I can do a podcast with him Sunday. All right, guys. I haven't watched the One fights yet. You guys ruined it. Didn't ruin it for me, but now it has to happen on Fridays. So I have to stay off my phone and I appreciate it. But you guys I get messages about the fights. Oh, do you see that? Oh, what an elbow! And I'm like, I can't. Don't tell me. But listen, keep them going. I love it. But I just haven't watched them yet. I'm looking forward to watching them from this morning. And by the way, speaking of One Championship and you guys interacting with me, I just want to let you guys know, I've said it a few times, but I chose Nong O to beat Jonathan Haggerty when they had their last fight. By far, that prediction, I've eaten the most crow. It was that prediction that I got the most messages for. People like, oh, your boy lost. Oh, I knew it, Haggerty. So just thought I'd throw that little statistic out there for you. You guys really threw that one in my face. All right, guys. So here we are, Quinn Wasylak. We really get to it right off the bat, talking about his semifinal fight versus Cody Jerome and how he was disappointed that he's not moving on. I mean, I understand. Who wouldn't be? Training out of Dunamis, YYC, big, strong team over there. And he explains it all. What a great podcast. Shout out to you, Quinn. Love the podcast. Love sitting and chatting with you. You're a real one, man. You're a good dude. All right, guys. Off to the podcast. Let's do it. Welcome back, fight fans, to the Shout Out Fight Podcast. Look who we got beside me here. As promised, Mr. Quinn Wasylak. Quinn, how are you doing, buddy?
Good, buddy. Cheers. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for going to get us coffee, man. I appreciate that.
Oh, yeah. Anytime.
Sorry, guys, a little bit loud for me. All right, so we have Quinn. I appreciate you taking the time on a Friday just before summer doing this, man.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Now, the last time we did this was not the most recent Fist of Fury Medicine had. It was the one before that.
Yeah. Back in June, I think.
Oh,
June of last year.
Okay, so about a year ago then.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah.
So a lot's happened since then, hey, in your life.
Yeah.
Give me one sec, guys. Let me just adjust my mic so I'm not leaning. All right. So, what were you doing last June? Were you fighting? Did you have an amateur fight? I'm just kind of bringing myself back to about that time.
No, so I was pro.
At the time you were still?
Yeah. Yeah. I had two pro fights. I was just about to fight Cody actually for the title, for the WBC title.
Now, was that your debut?
No, that was my third pro fight.
Okay.
So I was 2-0 going into that, and then him and I fought at Max Bell back in July. So like a month after that.
Right.
Yeah,
that's right.
And there was a lot of anticipation for that.
Yeah.
And I didn't get the win, but it was a good learning experience, good fight.
You know, now out of two goes, fighting Cody, it's fair to say you've come the closest. You know?
Yeah. Well, I definitely feel like the second time around went a lot better than the first.
Yeah.
I felt big improvements in my game, in my striking, and unfortunately it just didn't go my way. It was close, and I had a really strong start, and I think just some little adjustments later in the fight, and I would have had it for sure. But I kind of went in there thinking I would just knock him out in round one like I did my last fight, and then as soon as that didn't happen, I started to get a little frustrated and antsy and started looking for it a little too much, and then I think that's where
Where did that? How did that creep into your fight mentality? Like, I'm gonna finish it round one.
Well, yeah, I remember my cornerman was just. Well, I don't know. I just felt good, man. I just felt like really good, and like I was just I always want to go for the finish, right? And I just felt really confident and certain that that was the result that I was gonna
Round
that was
one,
gonna
hey?
unfold, right? Yeah, I was just like, screw it, man. Round one. I remember Kyle was asking me at the weigh-ins, like, how do you think it's gonna be? I'm like, it's gonna be quick, like just set it without starting or nothing, It just And then remember my cornerman Scott McKenzie. He was
Shout out
saying
to
like,
Scott.
yeah. Shout out to Scott. He was telling me before we walked out, I expect a hard fight, like a grind of a fight. And I'm like, yeah, man, sure. And like in the back of my head, I was like, fuck that, he's I'm going for the kill.
Done.
It's gonna go this way. Like I already got it, right? And then
Nice.
walked out. I felt great, man. Felt super calm, sharp as a tack. And round one started. I had a great round one, but I didn't get the finish. And then I didn't start panicking or anything, but I was just kind of like letting my emotions get the best of me a little bit. I was a little just angry and kind of like, fuck.
It felt like both of you guys were a little bit.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought.
And then, he started to adjust a little bit more. And then I think the second round was close. Like I've watched it back several times now, and I feel like on a different day I could have maybe gotten those first two rounds. But like I'm not on here to contest anything. Like Cody won fair and square and hell of a fight. Shout out to him. But
It's my podcast, so you get full permission to say whatever the hell you want, buddy.
Yeah, but no, I just started loading up a little too much and not touching and like I should have been. So it's a rookie mistake, but it just sucks, right? I feel like I had it in the palm of my hand, and then I kind of let it slip through my fingers. So
it's also I wouldn't call it a rookie mistake, man. Look who you're fighting. Like that's such a tough style to deal with because a lot of it has to be reactive, right? You don't really get to set a lot up. You have to deal. Although to be honest, he wasn't so crazy this fight either.
No, I was trying to do the opposite to him, especially with it being only 3 rounds. I'm like, yeah, I have to go forward. I got to get him on the back foot, right? But I think as the fight went on, he was adjusted a little better. He started landing those teeps lots, and I don't know how the fuck I didn't defend some of those, but it's frustrating to watch sometimes, right? Because we literally worked on that too, and just I don't know, heat of the moment.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I hear you, man. But what was there a big difference between Cody fight number 1 and number 2? Did you notice any besides the obvious? You know what I mean? The little gloves, whatever.
Man, no, not much, man. I mean, I know he's always game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, obviously with the smaller gloves and like the fewer rounds, it's different. But I didn't see much of a difference in just his overall style. Like the biggest thing with this one though was like just trying to keep him on the back foot.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
And then, just stay calm under pressure, weather the storm. When he would, throw his flurries, just be calm, shell up, and defend intelligently, and then look for the counter. So,
Did you find the 3 rounds? When's the last time you had a 3-round fight before this?
I guess amateurs.
And even then, it's got to be quite a ways back, right?
Oh, yeah. Like
high-level amateurs still fight 5.
Yeah, they still do 5. So I guess, man, it must have been on like ECL, like Edmonton Combat League. Shout out to them when they had like kickboxing fights, and I remember I fought a kickboxing fight on that. It was a 3-rounder, so finished it in the first round.
So how long ago was that?
That was 2019.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's 4 years ago.
4 years ago. Yeah.
So did you find the time went fast? Did it go slow in there with the 3 rounds?
It went super fast.
Yeah. You think that a lot of that had to do with the pace as well? Like you guys kept that pace pretty hard.
Yeah, the pace too, and just I don't know. Like I was feeling really good too, and I guess when you're having fun, time kind of flies, and
Sure
like
does.
I was like, like I said, even though it didn't go my way, like I was still like really having fun in there, and like I felt like I was in my element. I think Cody was having fun too. I remember shaking his hand afterwards. I'm like, we had fun in there, didn't we? And he was like, oh yeah, we did. So
Right.
There's some positive to take out of it. It's that we
Sure.
both.
At the end of the day, it's I always think of it as like the amateur style fighters take it personally. Professionals, it's a sport.
Yeah.
It's a martial art and growth and blah blah blah. I get it. Yeah, but at the end of the day, I mean, someone's got to win, someone's got to lose, and if you expect to be 100%, well, give your head a shake.
Oh no, yeah, man. Just because you fail, that doesn't label you a failure.
Yeah, whatever. Just a loss, right?
Yeah.
Although, of course it sucks, obviously. Oh shit! What was I going to say about Cody there? Well, going back a bit, I guess, talking about the into the amateur, into the pro, right into this chance to fight, the road to one for the Muay Thai World Cup. Sorry, I couldn't think of Muay Thai World Cup for a second. What was it like? What was the shift in training, the shift in mindset? Because now you look at the tournament and the gloves and the other end of this, right? Did things change as a pro? Like did things have to step up for you? Was it business as usual? How did this process come about? How did you gain the confidence that you are going to make it to the finals, you're going to win, and be part of this?
There wasn't a huge shift. I mean, obviously with the gloves and stuff, like tactically there was and game plan.
Right.
Game planning wise, there was a big shift, obviously, but like in terms of like intensity and mentality and like what needs to get done, like that's never, that never changed. That we've, I've had that for a long time now, thanks to my team.
Yeah.
Right. Like the guys I have around me, that the fight team that, that we have, it's grown so much, even the amateurs, right?
Right.
And
yeah,
we're always honest with each other. We're always pushing each other, and just keeping it real with each other, sacrificing with one another, and helping each other get better. So that, just along with my coaching, my coaches, Jake and Scott, they're
Shout out to those guys.
Yeah, unmatched. And so yeah, it wasn't much of a jump or anything.
That's probably better that way, right? Less pressure.
Yeah. We're just always working, always trying to improve, and so when opportunities like this do come, you're already prepared, right? There's no mental adjustment that needs to happen.
Right. Yep. No, good. Mental game plan. I like that. Yeah. By the way, before we get too far into it, we're like almost 10 minutes in. Quinn trains at Dunamis here in Calgary, YYC.
Yeah, come check us out.
There you go, under Jake Peacock, Scott McKenzie, and man, you're right. Like looking, even your kids now too. Big fight team, big strong fight team coming out of there.
It's unreal, man.
Obviously, yeah, it's great.
It's
How many fighters are coming out of that gym right now?
Let's see. So for pro, some mental math here. We have like MMA and Muay Thai combined, we have like 15 pro fighters.
Wow, that's awesome.
I think, like give or take.
Nice.
Yeah, about that. And then amateurs, we have like probably around the same number, maybe a little more actually. Like we have a huge amateur team now.
Nice.
Right, which is it's such a privilege to get to to work at the gym now full time and just like be a part of that process and help these people, sort of show them the the stepping stones to becoming, an amateur fighter to, eventually a pro fighter as well. So we've really kind of established a clear-cut path of how that whole process works.
Nice.
And, and it makes it easier for people who are like, oh, like maybe I want to try this. Maybe I just want to fight. Maybe, it makes it easier. So we got tons of people, wanting to fight and wanting to come join the amateur team. And it's great, man. Morale's always high.
Yep.
And the gym's busy. So, yeah.
Dirty life is good.
Yeah, exactly, man.
That's
Life's
it.
good.
So that was something I definitely wanted to touch on as well. So you now you were not a full-time martial artist instructor last time we did this podcast, Mike. Is that correct?
No, I wasn't. No.
Okay, so and you are now.
I am now.
My man.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
What was?
Jump.
Yeah. Let's talk about that jump. What's it like leaving security job? Probably some growth, all that sort of stuff. Into jumping into this. What was it like? What were you doing before the jump happened?
So I was working a labor job at a company called Gunther's Building Center.
Okay, yeah.
A great company. They've sponsored me before. I love those guys, but the work sucked. Like for most of the time I was there about 5 years, and most of the time I was there, I was a delivery guy. So we delivered doors, plywood, big MDF sheets, the moldings that you see like in houses and stuff. We deliver that to houses and construction sites all around the city. And so, some days we do as much as like 7-8 deliveries a day, 7-8 trucks. So I would do that 8 to 5, Monday to Friday. And then, I would train in the evening.
Sure, man.
And
so you're
sucked,
grinding
man.
all day.
It sucked, man. It was a grind, like, especially on fight week. Like when I was cutting weight, like especially for that first title fight, like I had to work all that week until the Thursday, and I was cutting to 154.
Right.
So it was just like, it was a lot of hurdles, and just a real grind,
Sure.
But there were good things too. I mean, I did have like a steady paycheck, and I guess I did have health benefits. But when I left, and when Jake gave me this opportunity, he actually tried to do it earlier, but I just, at the time, it was the timing wasn't right. But the second time around, I just made it happen, and it was just so uplifting. It's a huge weight off my shoulders, you know.
Is that, yeah?
Like, oh yeah. I mean, it was a
That's great.
little. It was a little. I guess. Stepping into the unknown. Like, you know, I didn't have any clients or anything like that. You know, so it was like, okay, like I'm gonna have to really bust my butt and get some clients and, you know, make sure I have an income. But that wasn't hard. And once I sort of built things up, yeah, man, it was a game changer.
Yeah,
And,
no kidding.
Like
hey?
I'm just blessed, man. I get to do this every day and just be a part of the not only my own process, my own journey as a fighter, but for other people's as well. Yeah, man.
How long have you been teaching martial arts?
About 3 or 4 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now listen, not all teachers are good fighters. Not all fighters are good teachers. And to be honest, I almost find it rare, to be honest, that you find both. Or that they even want to. A lot of fighters are like, no, I'm not interested in teaching. I just want to fight, you know, train and fight. Where did that teaching bug come from that you wanted to pass on your knowledge?
You know, I think it kind of could reside from like my earlier days just playing hockey.
Right.
You know, and I mean, I never really got to coach in hockey. I was just always the student. Like, I was always the player.
Sure.
But I knew so many cool coaches, man. Like, so many were just awesome people, you know, that I looked up to. Like, I looked up to. My dad actually used to coach me when I was like super young. But I don't know, it was always something that I was sort of drawn towards, that I, you know, that was positive. It was always a positive force in my life, my coaches, my hockey coaches and whatnot. So I think, yeah, the desire kind of came from that. And then, you know, just getting better as a fighter. And, you know, because at the start, you know, I was initially pretty pessimistic about being a coach, just because like I didn't have that much experience. Like, when Jake first asked me to teach a class, I was like, dude, I have like 2 fights. Like, what are you talking about?
I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah. He's like, bro, it doesn't matter. Like, and he was right. But I didn't really see it that way. I thought you need to have all these sort of accolades and, you know, and whatnot. But no, it really wasn't about that. And then, you know, through time, I got better and better. I got better at, you know, speaking and communicating with people, and, you know, remembering people's names is another huge thing that I've gotten better at. So, and it's those little things that really go a long way, that make a difference, you know.
Agreed.
So, yeah, I'm very grateful to be able to coach and, you know, and fight as well.
Sure.
Yeah,
of course.
best of both worlds. So
Yeah, no kidding. And Nick, I can see too on your Instagram and stuff that you know, you're genuinely caring about who's in front of you. You know, you're in the present, you're helping them out, making sure they're getting what they need out of it. So, yeah, and it's I will say, embarrassingly but truthfully, that like sometimes after doing this for a long time, you sometimes take it for granted, or can, and then every once in a while you get a little reminder, you know, of something that happens, a student or something good or whatever, and you're like, oh yeah, that's why this job is so awesome, right? Otherwise, you know, no, I'm doing a labor job. I put all my eggs in this basket, right? And you know, I used to hump boxes out of a trailer, and there's nothing wrong with that, but they don't. Every once, one of every 10 boxes doesn't come out and give you a hug and say, hey, you're the best, you know, like.
yeah.
So, and I like teaching kids for that reason, right? They sometimes I take it too seriously, and like I always tell this story that I had one kid, I was just giving this class, you know, these little kids, and this girl puts her hand up. I'm like, what? And she's like, can we be ants? And I'm like, what? She's like, can we be ants? I'm like, just go be ants. You're not listening.
Yeah.
It's fun to plant that seed in young kids, hey?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Oh, for sure, yeah. But it can be frustrating too.
Oh boy,
it can be frustrating. Yeah. Sometimes I'm just pulling my hair out, but maybe I got to do that. You guys can all be ants for 45 minutes here.
Once in a while, you gotta be ants.
Yeah.
Gotta have your black belt and patience.
Exactly.
So, what's it like? So, do you help run the fight team as well?
Yeah, the amateur team. Yeah. And the pro team, we're all kind of overseen by Jake, but like the amateur team, it's me and Deval Garvey as well. Yeah. He also plays a huge role in the coaching of the amateurs. So yeah.
Now that you probably do feel like you know enough to teach, how do you feel about being you must have, Christ, look at the people at your fights, man. You bring the loudest crowd. What's it like being in that position now of probably having the same little bit of authority? Well, probably social authority, you know what I mean? Like, oh, Quinn's a fighter, he's very good. Like now that you have that belief and accolade, what's it like being a teacher? Like, how do you like being a role model?
It's a
Did that make
privilege,
sense?
man. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
I'm
It's
trying
a
to be
privilege.
like, what's it like being a badass and everybody chant your name and you get like, no, I'm trying not to be a dick about it, right?
Yeah, no, yeah, I know what you're saying. Like I'm lucky, man. Like I got a lot of great friends. You know, a lot of those boys that you hear are, guys I played hockey with, and just the community and the bond that we had growing up and still to this day is just like really strong. Like we always had each other's backs, and so that's just me being lucky. That has nothing to do with like what I've done. I'm just lucky to have the people that I have around me and the support systems that I do. My parents, my brother and my sister, all my family members. I had tons of family members that came too, and just people watching online. My brother had a huge viewing party out in Winnipeg, and shout out to Fourth Line.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about this. Yeah.
Like the pub was just full of people. So, yeah, man, it's a privilege and it's an honor, and it's like I just feel lucky, So I don't, I just
grab it by the horns and ride it, right?
Exactly.
Good for you, man.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, so the Fourth Line. So is that your brother's bar?
So that's I think that's just a bar that he goes to. I think it's a karaoke bar, right? And then I think for the quarterfinals fight, he wanted to do a watch party, and then I think he asked them, and they're all for it, and then they had a huge turnout.
Yeah.
And then even people who weren't there to like watch the fight ended up like got drawn into it and everything. And then,
right.
Yeah.
So that big celebration that looked like a Stanley Cup final, that was for your fight.
Yeah, that was for the first fight.
Dude, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. That was great.
And then so Jonah did the same thing for this next fight. And another good
Awesome,
turnout.
man.
So thank you for giving them a shout out, by the way.
Hey, always, man.
Yeah.
Happy to, buddy.
Yeah,
Happy.
thank you.
You know what I was gonna say too about being a role model and having people cheer you and having all that. It is my observation. I was gonna say opinion. I think it's an observation that at the professional level, your personal life also bleeds into your professional life. If you live a shitty lifestyle outside of the gym, the ring, it bleeds in, right? So it's just obviously like yourself and your team, you're surrounded all by good, proper people who live their life right, and you can just tell, right? Like it's so shout out to you, man, for being that kind of guy too, like living your life right inside and outside of Muay Thai.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and it hasn't all.
It's obvious.
Yeah. Well, it's been I've had trials and tribulations too, and ups and downs. Successes and failures, and I've made some good decisions and some questionable ones, right? But
Sure, we all have.
Yeah, man, that's your past, right? You're not your past. You're just like the lessons and the capabilities that you glean from it, right?
That's it. Yeah, I agree, man. Now let's go back to your quarterfinal fight coming into the One Championship here. Did you know anything about Mike Doherty at the time?
I knew a bit. Well, like, so when they announced the tournament, I had no idea who he was. I knew he was like probably some guy from the East. And then I looked him up, and he had like lots of fights. I think he was a pretty accomplished boxer in like an amateur.
Okay.
Yeah, in the amateurs before he did Muay Thai.
Huh.
So we knew that he had really good hands, and I knew it was going to be a tough fight. And but I was like, oh, let's step up to the challenge, right? Let's get her done.
Nice.
And but yeah, I know he's a game opponent. Like he's no joke. Mike's no joke.
No joke. No. Yeah. And ended very fortunately for you, very unfortunately for him. But that doesn't take away his skill.
Not at all, man. Yeah,
of course.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I think he fought. I just posted something about Chris McMillan fighting TBA 2014. I think he fought Mike Doherty in that tournament.
Yeah. I think he did.
Yeah.
I remember we were trying to ask him about it too. He's like, oh, I don't remember. I'm like, oh, thanks, Chris.
Yeah.
Great help, buddy.
I remember he sent Chris flying a beautiful sweep, and even I was like, oh, that was beautiful. Whoops, that's not my guy. Whoops.
Yeah.
So I have a question about that fight with Mike Doherty. So, as best as I can recall, dude, when I'm commentating, I just came to the realization of this, that when I'm there, I forget most of what's happening because I'm waiting for the big one. So I'm just like on edge, man. I'm staring. I'm waiting for it. But it felt like you kind of ducked under. I'm gonna butcher it, but ducked under Mike's punches to try to land. It was overhand, yeah?
Yeah.
But it looked like you tried that twice, maybe 3 times. Is that something you were working on? Like I like that too, getting under the punches, and maybe because I'm shorter, but
yeah, it's a weird little feint I've been working on where you kind of like you posture up, right, and then you kind of get him to throw, and then you duck under, and then you can fake to the body and then go over top,
nice.
And like, yeah, it all just kind of like worked out. Like I hit him with an inside low kick, right, and then reset, and then he was getting ready to throw, right, so I did that little posture up feint, and then as he threw, I ducked under, and then I kind of looked at the body like I was gonna throw it, and then I just threw the overhand, and it just connected right on the button. So
Yeah. Did you know it was over right away?
Kinda, yeah. Like I don't know, he wasn't like out, so I was like, oh, like maybe I don't know, maybe he'll make the 8 count, right? But I don't know. After he kind of fell over, I don't know. I was really hoping. I'm like, come on, just be done, man. And then once it was done, I was like, sick.
Yeah,
Let's
nice.
go.
What was it like hitting somebody clean with those little gloves? Like you must have felt that down to your toes.
Oh yeah, it felt
That must have been solid.
it's hard to replicate that feeling.
No joke.
Especially in the in the training room.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you can't do that to your training partners.
Yeah. It felt great.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. He from where I was sitting when he fell, you could tell it took him 5-6 seconds to realize where he was, and then I'm sure the ref saw it. I'm not sure if you were too busy celebrating or in the moment, but I'm sure maybe you saw it. But he was looking at your guys' corner for advice.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, this ain't right.
Yeah.
So I'm glad it was waved off.
Yeah.
And he seems to be fine.
Thankfully, he's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's okay and everything. Yeah. No, shout out to Mike.
Yeah, man. Yeah. At the end of the day, we're all on the same team.
Yeah.
Right. So what are we looking at next? So unfortunately, out of the tournament, out of the finals, do you have anything you're looking at? Was that something else you want to keep doing with the little gloves? Would you like to go back? Yeah,
I'd love to, man. Yeah, I'm really bummed I won't be able to do that. Well, yeah, we'll see what happens, but
sure.
Yeah, like I'm really bummed I'm out of the tournament. Like, I really enjoy those little gloves.
Is that right? Hey?
Yeah, I love it.
What's it like getting hit with those, man? Because you and Cody probably have the best experience to tell people. That you guys beat the shit out of each other.
I don't know. I don't know. Like I didn't like really feel it too much because it's hard. Like when you're in the zone, like when it happens,
sure.
it's hard to like even just to think back about things that happened during the fight. Right? It's kind of tough, but I don't know. Like my face was marked up. Yep. But I feel like you mark up easy with those gloves.
Sure.
So like I wasn't too sore, but it just I don't know, man. Your hands are so much quicker, and it's just like I don't know. When you hit people, they I don't know, they feel it. But
what about clinching too?
Clinching, elbowing, yeah. It's much. Yeah, I like it much better. You got much more freedom,
right.
to move your hands around and stuff. But yeah.
Oh, nice.
I love it. I love it. But as for what's next, I know I got a contract. Like Kieran's got something for me for the next Muay Thai World Cup, so I will be on that. I don't know who, but probably find out soon here. And then I'm also trying to look to kind of expand my my horizons a bit, and look to try and fight in the States or Mexico. Hopefully in like October, right before that, right? Because that's end of November. So yeah, I'm gonna try and find something early to mid-October, and that'll be what 4 fights for me this year. So that'll be pretty good. And then I just really want to stay active.
Yeah. Good for you. Yeah, man. Muay Thai is flying in Mexico right now. Hey.
Yeah.
All over the place.
Triumphant, and they got a couple other cards out there too. So
Tulum Muay Thai putting on theirs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. I never remember the letters, but the fight card I was down there for the Muay Thai Grand Prix. Ruben Cruz, shout out to him. I can't remember the name of the gym. I can't remember. It's 4 letters. Muay Thai LB or something. I think. I don't know. I apologize. I'll figure that out.
Right.
I apologize.
Yeah. When was it? That was a couple months ago, wasn't it?
November.
Oh, November.
Yeah.
Okay, more than a couple months ago. Oh.
Yeah, man, and they have some sick fighters down there too.
Yeah.
But yeah. Speaking of which, if you're listening or watching, like I'm sure you could contact them and get something going. Like if you wanted to fight. Like,
oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that is so fun down there. They treat people, everybody so good. If we talk about now the finals, obviously, I'm assuming that you're gonna say Jake will beat Wafar.
Yeah.
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 That would be weird if you didn't.
Yeah.
Now, how about the other ones? What do you think of the 154? Daniel versus. By the way, I think even Daniel would be a hell of a fight.
I know, dude. I was really looking forward to scrapping with him, man. He's a tough native boy, so that would have been fun. But yeah, maybe down the road. Down the road, hopefully. Yeah. Shout out to Daniel.
Yeah, you got both of you guys big, strong dudes.
To Juice, but that I don't know. That's gonna be a good fight, man. I don't really have a dog in that fight. Like I like both guys, and yeah, I don't really know.
Battle of the overhands, except one's a left, one's a right.
Exactly.
That
exactly.
should be good, hey?
Yeah. I know Daniel's got a hell of a left, so it's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna be there for sure. So
yeah, man, some other great fights, eh?
Yeah, and then I guess the women, it's Taylor and Morgan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good fight too. I'm not too sure.
Did you get to see their?
Yeah, I
Taylor's
saw their.
fight?
Yeah. So I saw Taylor's fight. Yeah, she got marked up with an elbow pretty early. That girl put on like more of a fight than I was
she's a savage,
expecting.
man.
That was a good fight.
Her first fight was hard as hell too in the quarterfinals.
Yeah. I thought, like, to be honest, I thought Taylor was just gonna walk through her, but no, it was a lot closer.
Yeah.
Than I initially thought it was going to be. So
Records can be deceiving.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
for sure, especially the pro ranks.
Mm.
Now that you do traditional Muay Thai, you've done kickboxing, you've now done the entertainment quote unquote Muay Thai, global rules or whatever they call it. What are your thoughts on the differences? You know, it's kind of a hot topic lately. What's your thoughts on the differences between the new Muay Thai versus the traditional Muay Thai?
Well, I mean, both have their place,
Sure.
right? But I think in like, especially more in like the Western society here, like, I think this new Muay Thai is just more appealing to people.
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit more like rambunctious, I guess, and energetic. And
Rambunctious, that's a good way to say it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think more people are drawn towards that, you know, high action, you know, high octane.
If you live in North America, look at a hockey game. Look at a football game.
Yeah.
You know, they're crazy.
Exactly.
Lights, sounds.
Yeah. You know, good music and everything.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so I don't know. I respect both, right? But like I obviously lean towards the you know, the
Little
latter.
gloves. Yeah. That's because you're savage.
Yeah.
I was very curious.
How about you?
Yeah, you know.
Putting you on the spot here.
Yeah, a little bit. That's okay. You know, I like traditional Muay Thai better.
Yeah.
I don't look at me, man. I watch every Friday morning, man. I'm on it, right? I watch all the fights. I love it, but I like now the gambling thing. I don't like. I don't like that they spend 2 rounds rolling up their shorts and then they take round 5 off. So you're fighting for half the fight. Like I don't like that at all. But stance and the balance and you know the way they move, the rhythm, the music, the game plan. You know the scoring a little bit. You know we know it's not written down, but if you're big into Muay Thai, you know the scoring system.
Yeah.
Not all shots are equal, right?
Right.
And I like that. Like that's what I was drawn to for so long about Muay Thai. However, like you just said, you can't deny that. Like, look how many people are now tuned into Muay Thai because they've, for lack of better terms, westernized it, right?
Yeah.
I like the music. Everybody that I know that doesn't like Muay Thai is like, dude, can you tell them to stop? Like, that music is brutal. And I'm like, oh, I like it.
I don't mind it either. Like that I mean, it's got a good atmosphere too, and especially how it picks up each round. It's just, I don't know.
That's what I've think.
Never had an issue with the music.
But, well, sure, we're kind of in it though, right? But most people I know that aren't really, like my friends who come to fights once or twice a year, they're like, God, shut that off, for God's sakes. And I'm like, oh man, like I just, you know, I get it. I get a lot of like the mysticism around it, you know, the Y crew and all that. People are like, what the hell's going on here?
Yeah.
I like all that personally, you know. But I also come from a martial arts background, you know, traditional martial arts, and so those things weigh a little heavier for me. But I love the action of the new style. I like that the fights, there's lots of different fights on a card. I love that it's accessible on YouTube. But I'm so drawn, like when you guys fight, I'm in between rounds. I'm supposed to look at the monitor and go through the fight, but I'm too busy looking at each of your corners. Like, what are you saying? Who's frantic? Are you breathing? What's the game plan? Are you listening? Are your eyes glassy? Do you have that pulse? I can see your pulse in your belly. Like, I'm looking to see both corners. What's happening here? Right. And so the game plan to me is like, I like the fight strategy. I like that. I like the shifts in momentum, and you just feel like with the 3 rounds, it's just 6th gear, which is awesome. But you don't get that. You know, I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah.
So if I had to pick, I'm leaning towards traditional. But Kieran, don't fire me, buddy, please. But that's just my opinion. What about boxing? You watch any boxing at all?
Not really.
Yeah.
No. I mean, I watch UFC. Like, I'll pay attention to that.
Yep.
Nothing against boxing. I just, I don't know. Just.
So
just never really cared for it.
Yeah. Is MMA mostly? Like, do you watch fight sports?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, I watch a lot of the pay-per-views. I have like UFC like was the first sort of martial art that I started watching it back in high school and stuff. Like, that's all we used to watch.
Sure.
Right. And then, you know, after that, you know, we'd always just go to the bars and watch the pay-per-views, and still do. Right.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun.
Sure.
And I like MMA. I think it's like very exciting. Even like the ground game, like I've never done jiu-jitsu or anything, but I can appreciate it.
Yep, me too. Exactly.
You know, and I know what most of the submissions are, not all of them, right? And I can tell when a guy's doing good,
right,
as opposed to when he's doing bad. So and I like it. I don't know. I can respect it.
Yeah,
right?
me too. Yeah, and again, it's the I'm a production guy. If the production sucks, I don't care if you're the best fighter in the world. If like when people used to allegedly watch pay-per-views allegedly for free, you know, on the internet, if it was grainy at all, I'm not interested. Like I like production, and UFC has second to none. Right, the production is second to none.
It's wicked.
Well, that's what all this is. That right? You won championship, Rajadamnern World Series. Like the production of all these is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like that's what's catching me as a fan.
Yeah.
So, sorry, man, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
Oh no, yeah, I was just gonna say like the UFC has always just been like good when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah, man.
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, and the backstory and the building of their superstars.
Yeah, the countdown shows and all that.
man.
Which it'd be cool if One started doing that. Because those are always really cool. And just the intros. You remember when they used to play like that metal song like before every card? They don't do that anymore.
With the Gladiator, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like I wish they still did that. That was sick.
That was the as real as it gets era.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, man. Yeah. So, but yeah, just
Awesome.
stuff like that. It adds so much value. So,
Who are your top 3 favorite MMA fighters of all time?
Nick Diaz.
Yeah,
Is a huge Nick Diaz. Dude, just like his whole like persona, his whole spiel, man. Like, and just I don't know, he's got the best cardio and just like
Sure.
Talks a lot of shit, but like backs it up, right? And like he's like super skilled too, though, right? Like he doesn't come off like that. Like he just looks like from the outside, you think, oh, this guy's just like a stoner, fucking like wannabe.
Yeah.
But he's actually so good, and like he trains so hard, and like does like just all the little things, and he's like great at jiu-jitsu. He's got like world-class boxing.
Yep.
And like he just like really backs it up, and he like puts in a lot of work,
Yeah,
So I don't know, that was always something that kind of just resonated with me, and I always sort of respect. And he always has an entertaining fight. So
Sure.
I like Nick Diaz.
Just a jaguar, just can't be tamed.
Yeah. Jorge Masvidal
Yeah.
was another one.
The punchers of MMA, eh?
Yeah, and then I'm trying to think here. Put me on the spot.
How about from back in the day, like when you first started? Who's your guy?
Oh, like way back in the day, no, not Shamrock.
Oh shit, that's way back, way back.
Like
in the day.
or we can talk like how far back?
I'm talking like when you were watching in high school and that kind of thing.
Okay.
Like in the first few years, you became into it.
Okay, I was like Vitor Belfort,
Yeah.
TRT Vitor,
Of course.
Who else?
well,
Junior Dos Santos.
Yeah.
Junior Dos Santos. Yeah.
Punchers.
Yeah. Well, I had kicks. Do you remember he had that wheel kick?
That's true.
Of,
yeah,
Mark
that's
Hunt?
true. That's
Yeah.
true. You're right, man. That's crazy shit. You're
Yeah.
right, man.
Yeah,
Nice.
I tried throwing one of those in the fight. Actually, didn't land, but would have been.
You're right,
yeah,
man.
Remember
You're
that?
right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Would have been a lot cooler if it did. But who else? I mean, Anderson Silva,
Yeah.
always. GSP. I mean, I feel like those are the obvious ones,
Sure, the
right?
classics,
But frick, who else? What about you?
MMA, yeah, Anderson Silva. Any the technicians. Even recently, guys like Calvin Kattar. Like I know he's getting smashed lately, but the clean punchers, like the long guys that have the beautiful 1-2. Like I'm big into clean. I really like that. Yeah, back in the day, Crow Cop. Watched a lot of Pride back in the day. It's hard not to like those. The classic kickboxers who made the shift over, obviously. And again, George St. Pierre and all that good stuff for sure. Have you ever had an MMA fight or
No.
ever thought about one?
I have, but I don't know. I feel like it's kind of too late now.
Yeah.
What's it like to get on that old, to start learning jiu-jitsu? I've never done a jiu-jitsu class ever.
Yeah.
I've grappled with friends, like, drunk at parties and stuff like that. Like, that's like, that's all. That's the only grappling.
That's a
I've done,
prerequisite.
really. Yeah. But like, I don't know. I could do it.
Yeah.
I could do it. Maybe down the road.
Because besides the tournament, for now, the avenue of fighting with little gloves is a little tight. It's a little small.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly. So, who knows?
Yeah, that's right. You'd be like Ramon Deckers, who just took it and it didn't do any grappling, nothing. Got submitted right away, but he didn't care.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I can't remember who he fought. Took an MMA fight, didn't train at all, any grappling. But
Oh,
who
yeah?
cares?
He just got taken down.
Yeah, and got submitted, but who cares?
Yeah.
I tried.
Is what it is.
Yeah. Tried to smash you with my stuff, didn't work.
Yeah.
But so just kind of going back to Muay Thai, is there anybody out there that you'd like to fight?
Hatter Hines.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you would, hey?
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. Well, it's him and I just both lost in the semifinal, so
Okay.
I feel like that's only fitting.
Now, do you feel comfortable? So this would be at 154.5, I'm assuming.
Yeah, 155.
How do you feel at that weight? You're
Good.
goddamn ripped at that weight, hey?
Yeah. Well, no, like it's gotten easier the more
Yeah?
I've done it.
Yeah.
Like
I don't
the
mean in a bad way, but clearly good shape. Like
No, like it was great, and that's TJ, my nutritionist, Tyler Wellen. He's just so good at what he does. He makes it so easy.
Nice.
And yeah, it's literally gotten easier and easier every time I've fought.
Nice.
At this weight.
Nice.
So
Nice. Okay, good.
It's great, man. I'm happy to keep fighting at this weight, or if I need to take something at 160, I can. Right, be a lot easier. But
Yeah.
155 is like no problem for me.
Oh, nice.
So
Nice.
I wouldn't go any lower than that. I would probably just stay there.
Sure. Yeah, that's probably a good
Excuse me,
idea.
Yeah, and then
Like, if it's in a good way, I'm just guessing. You got to be 175, 180 right now.
I'm probably like 185 right now. Yeah,
I was trying to be nice.
yeah, a couple pints. So.
As you should. Well earned, buddy.
Yeah,
well earned.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, Hatter would be a good fight, or I don't know. So like that's why I want to go to the States too and start fighting down there more.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to float through my head. There's a lot of guys even I mean, at that sort of 154, 160. But you're right, that the pool's getting a little thin.
Yeah, for Canada.
Yeah. But shout out to like Kieran for doing that. Like when you look at the things like UK, like I always thought it was cool that like, oh, somebody took over the #1 spot, and you're like, how do you know that? How does that happen? And then you finally bring in a ranking system, and now of course it needs to grow and be adjusted and blah 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 blah. But at least it's done right. So like, okay, well you cleaned out your pool. Well, now let's start reaching out a little further, right? So now you go out to the U.S. and kind of make that, because we always just want to like go fight somewhere else, like, and that's cool, but we always do that to ourselves. I find as Canadians, like I want to go fight in there, I want to go fight over there, and well, why don't you beat the hell out of everybody around here first,
right?
Right. And then expand,
Yeah,
because no one's gonna bring you in to win, right? Like you want to fight on, if I live in California. You want to come fight on versus my guy? Like I'm not bringing you to win. I want my guy to win.
Yeah.
So we always made it hard on ourselves. So it's nice that this is happening and there's experience. It's growing out east.
Yeah.
And and we get the proper experience here. We know where we stand, and then we can, throw rocks.
Yeah. No. Shout out to Kieran, man. He's accomplished a lot, and
it's pretty crazy.
Yeah. A short amount of time. So he's
And it's cool to be part of. I mean, I don't even know if this podcast wouldn't exist. So I'm not sure if you know, but we did the very first podcast we did, the Bulldog and Bear show. He just sat down and played with his phone.
Oh, really? Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know what to do. And he's like, whatever. I see Kevin Ross on the screen. I see Asa Tempau, and I'm like, dude, they're getting pissed, man.
Oh, really?
And he's just like, oh no, just ask this guy. And so I'm like learning on the spot. And like it is what it is. But I literally by the end of it was like, oh, bro, I can do this. And then I'm like, shit, let's do this. So I started the podcast. Yeah,
that's unreal. Well, yeah, no, I could see just even the production values since the last time I've been here is because I remember I think we did it in the hotel room.
That's right.
You just had a couple little mics, and now like you got this whole setup.
Yeah, man.
Congrats.
Thanks, buddy. Big pain in the ass.
Cheers. A lot of hard work. So
thanks, I appreciate it, man. Yeah. And it's just fun to be part of this whole community. Like we're so uplifted around here right now. Like it's okay if we have competition between gyms. That's healthy for us.
Yeah.
But gyms are growing, the fighters are growing. Like I talked about Romel Oliveros on the last one. Like I really didn't know much about him, and now I see him all the time. And now when there's a fight card and I hear somebody from Milton Muay Thai is going to be there, I'm like, awesome! I get to go say hi. Like it's built such a great community, and I just find it like that's a big reason why I just like being part of the community.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of it. So
yeah, well, hey man, shout out to you too because you bring a great energy to all the events, and just a lot of enthusiasm, and it's like there's few people out there like you.
I appreciate it, man.
Especially in our scene, man. So like, respect to you. Shit.
I appreciate that.
Respect to you, bro.
Cheers.
I'm serious. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate it, man. For real. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Did you fight? I think we might have had this discussion last time. I'm not sure, but did you fight Deval Garvey back in the day?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you did, right?
Yeah.
And you won by split decision, am I right?
Split decision.
Yeah.
It was an ugly ass fight, man. I hate it's on YouTube. If you guys want to go watch it. But like it's nothing I'm proud of. But
is that right? Eh?
Yeah, Deval will never see the end of that. He will never let me forget it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is it? Does that play into anything? Like, is there any competitiveness because of that fight in the gym?
Yeah. But like it's all kind of like lighthearted, right?
Course.
But like. Yeah, like when we're sparring and shit, we're always...
it's lighthearted, just not lightest-hearted.
Yeah, exactly.
Still competitive, right?
Exactly, right?
Nice.
But,
That's how you get better.
Yeah, no,
what you
dude.
said.
Like that was back in 2019 too, and I remember after the fight, like him and I, we had a couple shots, and he was super cool.
Mhm.
And I got his contact because he used to live in Winnipeg, right?
Right.
And I got family out there and everything, extended family, and I got a cottage out in sort of the outskirts of Winnipeg there.
Okay.
And so like I go there every summer, and then I hit him up that summer that I went out there, and him and I trained at K West. Shout out to K West Muay Thai, Winnipeg.
K West, shout
great
out.
gym, great people.
You bet.
But yeah, him and I got some training in, and then we did the same thing next summer, and we just kind of kept tabs on each other. And then he reached out. I think it was 2021 is when he moved here. And yeah, I helped him move in and everything. And I remember he was thinking about trying a couple gyms, but I was like, no, dude, come to our gym. Like, you're going to our gym. I recruited him right away. And
Right.
he just tried to make him feel at home. And yeah, he's done great, man. He's a real integral part of the team and a great coach as well.
Nice.
And got a great friend too. Shout out to you, Deval.
There you go. Shout out, buddy. Right on, man.
I still beat you though.
Oh boy. Now you done it. See you on the dance floor.
Yeah. Oh, he would destroy me at dancing. So yeah, you should see that guy before his fights. Just he's got some reggae music playing. It's a vibe.
That's it.
It's a vibe in there.
Even in the last one, if you're missing the top rope, he's still dancing in the ring.
Exactly.
Right? That was awesome.
Yeah.
What at the end of this thing, if you could fast forward to how you create this whole picture. Who are you? What are you? Where do you? Are you a UFC champ? Are you a? What do you want when this is all said and done? If you could have it completely your way.
A world champion.
Mm-hmm.
No particular like promotion or anything, but a world champion. Like to have at least 40 to 50 fights. I think that's a reachable, attainable goal. Those are just personal goals for me, and then for gym goals, I want hopefully 2 locations for us. Big spaces, an extensive amateur and professional team, both MMA, Muay Thai, and kickboxing combined, and hopefully have a family by then too.
Yeah, nice, of course.
And yeah, those are kind of the main goals.
That's it. Yeah. Friends, family, martial arts.
Yeah, the gym one is super important. Because my time will come and go, right? But it's other people. I can still be a part of that, right?
Yeah.
So,
well, and I found that interesting as you're describing there. You went, yeah, I'd like to be a world champion, but then the gym, 2 locations, big spaces, and you got into it.
Yeah.
I'm like, clearly I can see that's a big passion of yours.
yeah.
Hey?
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. So
Nice.
yeah,
Good for you.
yeah.
All right. I saw this question asked to Mike Tyson. I thought that's brilliant. Can you give me your favorite or best fight and your least favorite or least favorite fight? You know what I mean? Like worst fight that you've had.
That I've had.
Mm-hmm.
Favorite fight. Okay, well, my least favorite one was my first one because I lost.
Okay. Who'd you
And,
fight your first fight?
I fought Manny Coffrey, Lewis Coffrey's brother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, on a WTM card way back in the day. I think this was like 2015 or
When they had that
2016.
little gym there?
Yeah.
Okay, no
yeah,
shit.
yeah, man. I fought Manny. Shout out to Manny too. I don't think he's fighting anymore, but he's a real solid dude. But yeah, I fought him, and he beat me.
Decision?
Yeah, no, TKO'd me. So like in
No
third
way.
round, it's like his first fight, right? Like I was
Exhausted.
a little unprepared, but like I had a huge adrenaline dump. End of the second round, I had him in the corner, and I was just swinging for it, just emptied my tank.
Sure.
And then I'm sitting in the corner, and they're like, "You're not tired, man. You're not tired." Like my cornermen were not qualified to corner me. I'm not making excuses, but it was, yeah. They're like, "Don't worry, man. You're not tired. Just keep fighting."
Okay.
Like no advice. I'm just dying here, right? And I go out, and then I just walk straight at him, right? And then he caught me with a head kick, and I got dropped. And then I got up, I was okay, but I was so tired. And like the ref looked at me, he's like, "Yeah, you're done."
Yeah. We're okay here.
And yeah, I was. It
thank
sucked,
God.
but yeah, just watching it back, it's like, oh, so tough to watch. Right?
Yeah, no joke,
Oh
eh?
man, so yeah, that's probably my least favorite fight. And then my favorite fight would probably be maybe when I fought Tyson in pros.
When was that?
That was I think that was when Mark KO'd that Italian guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That Seven Chiefs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was one of my favorite fights.
What was it about that fight?
Well, we were both bleeding, and it was just like I don't know. It was a good fight.
Yeah, we got that picture.
Yeah,
commentating.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, that's right. That was afterwards.
That's
yeah.
right.
And I don't know. I felt really good in there. I felt like it was a really good performance by me, and I just had a lot of fun. It would either be that, or honestly, like even though I didn't win, like this last one with Cody,
Yeah.
I felt great, man. Like I said, no regrets, no excuses. Shout out to Cody, congrats. But I just
Great dude.
that was just like it was one. I don't know. It was one of those things where like even though I didn't get the win, it was like I'm just happy I'm doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, yeah.
I just feel like really present in life, and just like I don't know.
Beauty.
I just
Well, and it makes it easier when you fight someone like Cody and from Progressive. Like those are good people. Makes it easy.
Yeah, man. Great gym too, and like just like I had a lot of fun.
Yeah,
so,
nice. Now, I remembered what I was going to say like 45 minutes ago about Cody. There was a lot of, not drama, but heat behind this rematch.
Yeah.
Right? Like, there's a lot of hype.
Yeah.
Right? And I try my best to be part of that hype. And, like, like even with Kieran, we were talking, like, this is the main event. Could you feel that building up to the fight? Were you trying to block it out? Was it there in the fight? Like, were you feeling the hype?
Oh, I felt it, man.
Is that right? Hey?
No, I was welcoming it with open arms because, like, knowing that we're going to be the main event, like, and I remember telling my friends this, like, and well, they all knew because they all knew who Cody was. They all saw me fight him the first time, so like, even they understood, like, this is huge. This is big, and. No, man, I welcomed that. I loved it. It was sick to be a part of.
Yeah, nice.
And especially like when he walked out, it was crazy, and then when I walked out, it was crazy, and like his fans were like they had a big table right by where my corner was, and they were yelling like "Fuck you, man! I hope you get knocked out," and like, I was just zoning it out.
Sure.
But like
fight fans.
oh yeah, it was great though, right? And then like my boys were yelling like back there, so they kind of drowned it out. And then later after the fight, those guys actually came up to me and were like, "Hey man, like hell of a fight, great." I'm like, they're like, "Sorry, we were cursing you," and I'm like, "No, don't be sorry, man. That's the game. Like, you guys are fans.
This guy's just trying to kill me. I don't care what you're saying.
You guys are doing your job, man. My fans are doing their jobs. So, like, it was all respect.
It's all sport.
But it was sick, man. It was cool to be a part of.
Yeah, man.
To be part of all that. So
yeah, it was big. and here's the thing too, like, and I am gonna be funny enough. I just was speaking with Cody as well. I'm hoping to do a podcast with him and talk about the same fight. But I was curious. Just as my own fight fan, and what if and play fight math.
Yeah,
you just came off a massive KO in those little gloves. Cody had a tough go. He had to climb out of a trench, and sure did with a stamp on it. So I was curious, you riding that wave and him possibly feeling a little bit vulnerable. Whether I don't know if that's true, I'll find out. He could easily just be like, "No, man, I don't care at all." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, great." But you wonder, right? Like, I was curious, not that he would be scared, but like, is that going to make would that make him maybe go, "Okay, maybe I should just hold on, don't be so aggressive." So I thought that played into a lot of the hype, right?
Yeah.
Like, but then the way he came back and the way you dude, it just lined up perfect, right?
Yeah.
So he's gonna be it. But I also did feel like you guys both fought with. I could feel the hype. Like, I could feel like you guys were biting down, trying to knock each other's head off, like a little too much.
That's what I mean, right? And that's kind of where my sort of my kind of downfall came from the fight. Because like I had a really good first round, and just like really tried to put it on him and put him away, right? But
clearly
then,
1 round 1.
Yeah, but then I just kind of started forcing it, like looking for it too much, right?
Yeah.
Instead of doing exactly what I was doing earlier, it would have, I definitely believe it would have been a different story. But it's history now, right? All you can do is learn from it.
What without giving away any sort of, like, I don't know if there's any such thing as corner secrets, but was there any advice that you were being given, like what was being told to you in between rounds, like between 1 and 2, and just as an example, was it like, "Hey, dude, keep doing this"? Between 2 and 3, was it tides turning, or was it just like, "No, you're doing great"? Like, I'm just curious. What?
No, they were like after the first round, Jake's like, that was a great round. You need to keep doing this. Keep touch, landing your switch kick. He's not doing anything.
I remember
with your
hearing
switch
touch.
kick. Yeah, right? Like salt and pepper, right? You know, don't load up, don't look for it, don't load up your right hand, right? And then, you know, that kind of went in one ear and out the other
Shut
ear,
up, Jake.
right? And then, but yeah, that's kind of what they were saying. But like, we were never like panicked. We were calm the whole time. Even second going to the third round, like it was always like I was always calm. I was always just breathing, control my breath, and you know, listening to my coaches and
What was the advice going
absorbing everything
between 2 and
like
3?
a sponge. But 2 and 3 was stop loading up.
Yeah.
Stop loading up. Relax. Touch, and use your left kick, right? My left shin's pretty banged up, actually. It was sore. And I remember I told Jake, like, it's pretty sore, man. Like, should I use my right kick more? He's like, I don't care. I do not care. You keep throwing that thing. And so, you know, I'm like, all right, screw it. 1 round to go, right? Let's do it. But, you know, didn't get the job done, unfortunately. But, yeah. No, I was really grateful that, you know, Jake and Scott were both in my corner, especially Jake, you know, after having just fought and went through a really I guess, yeah, you went 3 rounds too, even though it was a
cardio-heavy fight.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah.
So the fact that he's still, you know, being in my corner and having my back, you know, means a lot. And then Scott, you know, same thing, right?
Yeah.
Scott's always just, you know, had my back and is always trying to look out for me and do its best. And, yeah, I appreciate those boys a lot. Shout out to you boys.
It's nice to know when you're going to fight that, like, the people who are coming with you really do have your back.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you feel like a gangster walking out. You know? It's just like, oh, my shit doesn't stink.
There you go. How did you feel about speaking of Jake as well, how did you feel about your other teammates' performances? Did you get to see them fight at all?
Well, I didn't see Jake's fight because I was, like, already behind, like, sort of the curtain area. Like, I was just in the back already. I wasn't in front of the TVs or anything. I was just kind of walking around.
Were you right after him or
No,
two after, right?
I was
because it was Daniel
I was, you know, so it was him, and then I think it was Daniel and Hatter.
Right.
And then it was me and Cody to finish. But I was already up and, like, walking around, like, getting ready to go, right? Hitting pads with Scott. So I didn't see his fight. I did see DeVal's fight.
Okay. What do you think of that?
Dude, that was that was messed up. Like that. I remember watching it happen because I was sitting on the chair, I had my headphones in, and like the rope snapped. I'm like, is this really happening right now? Like,
right.
Like fix it. Like hurry up. Like let's go. Come on. And then it took forever. So and then they came back to the back room, and I'm like, all right, like. It's a little inconvenience, but they'll fix it, right? They have to fix. They're not going to stop the card.
Fight card's canceled.
Yeah, like fuck off. There's like thousands of people here, so I knew it was all gonna be resolved, right? But then I guess Tyson like really mangled his shin. I think DeVal checked one of his kicks.
I found it. I think I found it. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like it was bad. I didn't see it.
40 seconds in round 1.
Oh really? Eh?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. So. I had my headphones in, but there was a big commotion going on, right? And then DeVal looked really bummed, so I went over to him like, "Hey, like, are you still fighting?" He's like, "No, it's off." And he explained to me what happened, so I felt really bad for him.
Sure.
But you know,
what's your thoughts on that decision?
Oh, I definitely think it should have been a TKO loss.
Yeah.
You know, or like
I can see that.
Yeah, like it should have been a no contest. I mean, it's. Yeah, it's really weird. Like it was a really odd occurrence that happened with the ring.
Yeah.
Becoming defective like it did, but still, I mean, a result's a result. A decision is a decision, right?
Sure.
So if you can't continue, that's your decision, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that should reflect in the overall outcome of the fight. You know what I'm saying? Because had they both said yes, it would have been a fight, and then they would have gone, right? So. If one guy says no, how is that like a no con? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. I feel the opposite way, but I can argue that side. I can argue. I can argue it could be a TKO.
Yeah,
I can argue that.
Yeah, and like I don't want to like Tyson's shin was fucked up. Like
yeah.
Tyson, you're my bro, man. Like I'm not trying to like harp on you or anything. Like
it has nothing to do with them.
Nothing. Yeah, nothing to do with you. Just like I don't know. Yeah.
It's a weird. It can be anybody. Chris versus Tim. Blue versus green, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's just a situation, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's, I don't know, that's a tough one, but yeah, that's kind of where I'd stand on that.
But that's why I was curious, because it is a tough one.
Yeah.
I can argue both sides, no problem.
For sure. But
now, my other question too I had was, what was it like having to know that you're fighting in like possibly 10 minutes while the hype train of Jake comes to the back? Was that distracting for you? Because people. I mean, I'm you know, Shane and those guys. I'm sure everybody must have been pretty fucking ecstatic.
Oh yeah.
So
I heard it. I heard the crowd. So
right. Now when they come to the back, because that's why I wanted to know if you were next. Because if you guys cross paths, that's one thing. But you had to still be in the back while now he's taking off his gear and he's hyped for about another 5-7 minutes. Did that affect you at all? Are you trying to block it out? Are you part of it?
Not at all. No, I was like feeling zen. I was just in my own.
Yeah.
In my own world, right? And then like I remember like Jake went and did his thing, right? And then he was sitting on the chair and he's like, "You got like you know he's like you got this like." You know, give me that kind of, you know, talk and stuff. And I'm just like walking back and forth in a straight line, just feeling good, you know. So it didn't like affect me in any way, you know. As much to like I gave him like a fist bump. We're like, yeah, sick fight, dude. Congrats. But
sure. Yeah.
I wasn't all, you know, like super excited, like, hey dude, great job. Like you know, like I was just
I was curious if it was the other way around, like, you know, like, yeah, the hype, like, you know, I can't deal with it right now. I don't want to see that. I don't want to deal with it. Like,
yeah, no, I wasn't like, you know, like that or anything. I just, you know,
just roll on.
Focused on the goal, right?
That's it.
Tunnel vision.
That's it. Nice. That's good, man. That's a good professional attitude. Before we finish up here, curious if you have any rapid shout outs for us, any sponsors, friends, family you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, sure. I'll start with my sponsors, Primo Fightwear. They actually gave me some sick gloves and shin guards that their boy brought down for the fight. So thank you so much. Gloves fit great. I haven't put the shins on yet because my shins are a little mangled. But
shout out to Primo.
Yeah, shout out to Primo. Joins Administration, Combined Insurance, 2 other sponsors of mine that really have done a lot for me, especially this last camp. So thank you. My mom, my dad.
Combined Insurance. Extended health insurance?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm with them too.
Really?
I'm like, how do I know that name?
Yeah. Yeah.
I've absolutely broken everything in this place and haven't put in one claim.
Should do that.
Probably, eh? Yeah. 2 broken arms, broken eye, broken finger. But
jeez, but yeah. What was I saying?
Shout out to Combined Insurance. Sorry, who was after that?
My mom, my dad. Yeah, they're fantastic.
There you go, of course.
My brother Kira, my brother Jonah, my sister Kira, my family from Winnipeg. Looking forward to see you guys soon. See you in a couple of weeks. All my friends, the fight team at Dunamis, my coaches. Love you boys. You guys are great. All the general members at Dunamis too. It's such a great family we got, and you guys make coming to work every day spectacular. So. Thank you very much, and just all the fight fans at Muay Thai World Cup for just coming out and, you know, supporting us fighters and
in force.
Exactly, just being a great audience in general, and you know, Kieran, shout out to Kieran as well. The man behind it all. So
that's it, Vince McMahon.
Yeah, and shout out to you.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate
shout out
it,
to
man.
the Shout Out Podcast. Thank you so much for having me, bro.
Hey, always, man.
Really
Always.
means
You guys
a lot,
are always more than welcome on. Always love sitting and chatting. Student of the podcast. Now that you're a teacher, who you get to do only have. Nope, I'm gonna keep it one.
Okay.
One student of the podcast. Who is it?
This is tough. This is really tough. I'm gonna say my buddy Cash Wright.
Cash.
He just fought on the Muay Thai World Cup Juniors back in February. I had a really close fight.
Good fight.
Yeah, it was a good one. But yeah, he's up and coming, and him and I have been working together for a couple of years now. And
nice.
He's like a little brother. So yeah,
Beauty.
Shout out to you, Cash.
Shout out to Cash.
He's got great parents. His dad and his mom, Corey and Lindsay, they're great too.
You bet.
Yeah.
They used to train at Arashio in the Springbank gym, so obviously training with you now. But
yeah,
that doesn't mean anything. They're great people.
Yeah,
you know?
great.
Only
people,
wish anything, but yeah, good things from all of them. Cash, his sister as well.
Yeah, Sloan.
Right.
Yeah,
yep.
shout out to you, Sloan.
That's
so,
it. Yeah. Those people good and good support system. That's
yeah,
where it starts, right?
Great.
Okay, last question for you. Give me your top 3 favorite strikers, so not MMA.
Okay.
Today, that fight in little gloves. So, for example, you couldn't say Petrosian. He doesn't fight in the little gloves.
Okay. Tawan Chai.
Okay, Tawan Chai.
Frick. Can I say Pet Moricott?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I mean he doesn't really anymore, but he
But
used
did.
to.
That's
he
right.
Did. Okay.
Yeah. Blurring that line a little, but I'll take it.
Yeah. I want to say Liam Nolan.
Liam Nolan.
Yeah,
Dude,
really
that
like
guy's
Liam
on
Nolan.
just skyward, with his skill. Man,
Yeah,
he got
he's
real good real
sick.
quick. Yeah.
He's sick.
Great fighter.
So yeah.
Nice, man.
Yeah, I gotta have one Western.
Sure. All right, man. Anything else before we're out of here?
No, man. Just thank you for having me. This has been a lot of fun.
Beauty. Yeah. I'm
Till
glad you
next
like
time.
it, man. That's
Yeah.
it, man. So this will be on YouTube right away. And I do want to, if things work out and the stars align, I'll be talking to Cody next about the exact same fight. So I'm very interested to hear from his point of view. Other than that, guys, it's Canada Day long weekend. So go have a couple beers and enjoy yourselves.
Cheers.
Peace.